All right, you are getting better at navigating. Now let's start building.
Yeah, so building is the part we're all here for, right? Like what we want to do when you start building your world, you're like, well, great, I have this hand sticking out right now, and I've walked around, I've seen some chickens. Maybe you try to get on a horse as you walked around, but we're gonna want to learn how to actually place things. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is be able to find your inventory. Now, if you have your cheat codes up on the side, you'll see that my inventory is the letter E. And if I hit the letter E, up pops the inventory that I have. Now, there's a bunch of different things that you want to take a look at. I love this magnifying glass. The reason why is I can search for anything I ever want. So if I want to look at the different wood, I can just hit wood, and up comes every single piece of wood that I want. But if you also want to know what they are, this brick here means all your building materials, and the plus sign means that there's more behind it. So you can't drag the plus sign. It won't let you. You actually have to click it and then drag the stuff behind it. The shield or the helmet and sword, that's where all your weapons are. Doesn't really matter too much in creative mode,
Yeah.
but your tools are sitting inside of that, right? This bed and water, this is all your accessory features. So water, things. And just because this is the cool thing, right? We talked about dynamic and flexible thinking, Darren. Just because it says this is a bucket, you don't have to use it for a bucket. You can use it for anything you want. So be creative when you're thinking about your builds and things. And then this grass, this is all your Terran things. So grass, plants, seeds, dirt, whatever you want to do. But what I want you to do is we're going to grab the oak wood plank. So I'm going to pause for a minute, and all I did was I dragged it and I put it into a spot down below. So again, I clicked on the oak wood, I drag it, and I place it in a spot. So we're going to pause and let you do that.
All right, so hopefully you are armed with some wood.
And so hopefully you have that wood placed in there, and you'll notice that because you put it in your spot, it's now sitting in my hand, right? Before it was just your hand literally sitting there in the corner. Now I actually have a piece of wood, and I'm ready to place it. Now, if you're on a mouse, it becomes a little easier because all I have to do is my left click button. My right click button lets me place, sorry, not my left click. Your right click button allows you to place a block. So you'll see here in my screen, there's that little plus sign, and very faintly, might be hard in the video, but there's a box, a dark black box sitting around that plus sign. That is where you're actually going to be placing things. So if you can see that box, you're good. So we're going to hit that button, and we're going to right click to place. And if you want to delete it, left click to delete. So right click to place, left click to delete. And so I'm going to actually I'm going to try give you a challenge to build your initials with wooden blocks. And you can build it stacking up. Oops. So you can stack. Or you can place things on the ground. Any which way you want. That is placing blocks and destroying blocks. Anything else you want to think about there, Darren?
No, that's great. So we're going to have you you can do your full name if you want to experiment, or just your initials. So we'll see you back here once you have those blocks in your name. Okay, so we have John's name there. Hopefully you didn't struggle too much to get your name written in some form. And there's a donkey. So now you can try some of the other challenges that we have on the slides that follow. Maybe you want to build a house or a structure, or just to get used to that idea, just getting more fluid with adding different types of blocks. Right, John?
Yeah, so different types of blocks are kind of fun. Again, we're going to go back to that inventory, and you can pick the different types of anything you want and drag it into another slot. So when we're looking at the slots that are down here, we actually have 1 to 9. And so I can fill them with as many different things. So that even if I had 9 all the way over here, if I want to actually move them to different spots, they can be like 1, 2. Of course, 1 and 2 are the same ones. So sorry, you didn't see anything change. But now you can see that my block changed when I hit the number 3. Or if I change it to number 9, it goes to that spot. If you're on an iPad, it's even easier. You literally just tap and go. Same with placing blocks. You just tap them and place things. I forgot to talk about that when I was in there. But then again, just change them up and away you go.
Awesome. So have fun trying to build any other structures, maybe a little house, just playing around with just building with different blocks and getting used to that. And we'll see you in the next one.